Will the potential campaign finance violations from Lauren Bobert ever come to an end? The answer to that question appears to be no. No, they will not. Lauren Bobert may have broken the law, possibly again, with a recent book pitch that she apparently used campaign finances to fund. Now, before I get into the details, let's make one thing very clear. Campaign finance laws here in the United States are a complete and total joke, and they are rarely, if ever, enforced. Every now and then you'll hear a story about some Yahoo out there, typically, based on recent history, it's going to be a Republican lawmaker, that gets a little too greedy, that gets a little too overt, spending money on things like golf pants and golf balls. But those stories are few and far between because it takes a real idiot to break the laws that are rarely enforced as it is. But if Lauren Bobert keeps on this track, I gotta tell you, she looks like she might be the next one to go down. So here's what happened in this latest event. Several months ago, Lauren Bobert was out there promoting her new book through the Republican fundraising arm called Win Red. She sends out this email telling people, go and buy my book. Here are the links. Of course, it sends them to outside booksellers, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all the usuals. And because of that, she stands to make a profit in the form of royalties. Had she linked it to her actual website, to say, hey, go here to get the book, she could have purchased those books, given them away at cost as a campaign giveaway type thing. That way she doesn't make any money and you don't run into as many issues. You could still run into some, but not as many as if you direct them to, Barnes & Noble's website. So on that email, it says at the bottom, paid for by Win Red. But again, because Win Red is the fundraising arm, she is able to use her money to pay Win Red to send out the thing. So she pays Win Red to send out these fundraising emails. Instead, they send out one telling people to go buy her new book. That, if it happened that way that it's being reported, would be illegal. Because you cannot use your campaign finance money, right? You cannot use any campaign funds for an expense that would exist outside of the campaign. So if it's an expense that exists, even if you're not running for office, you can't pay for that. That's basically how they do these things, right? Mileage, say, for example, if you drove 34,000 miles around the state of Colorado in a single year, that's reimbursable because you wouldn't have done that if you were not running for office. And I bring that up specifically, of course, because there is still that investigation, as far as I know, going into how in the hell Lauren Bobert drove 34,000 miles, around the state of Colorado for one single campaign in one district. Granted, it's a big district, you got lots of miles to cover. 34,000 is stretching it because that's how long it would, or how many miles it is, 1.5 times around the circumference of the Earth. I seriously doubt Lauren Bobert traveled that far, but she got reimbursed for that mileage. And also, it's so ironic because the mileage she got it reimbursed for happened to be the same amount of money that she owed for a lien against her restaurant. Wow, what a coincidence, right? How fortuitous of her. And immediately after she got that reimbursement, she was able to pay off that lien too. So weird, right? Restaurant, of course, is now closed. Lauren Bobert might be under another criminal investigation for potentially abusing her campaign finance funds, and her book didn't even sell that well to begin with. So that would be the icing on the cake, right? You're using campaign funds to illegally promote your book, and you still can't get people to buy your book. You going to go to jail for that, right? Is that going to be the thing that takes you down, promoting a book that nobody wanted in the first place? Because, God, I would love to see that happen. That, folks, would be poetic justice. You ruin your entire career, and it doesn't even help you sell any books. As it stands right now, there's not yet a formal investigation into this activity, but there are calls for an investigation. Red flags have been raised, and when the investigation happens, or if it happens, then we'll finally get to the bottom of this. But as I said, it's very rare for the FEC to actually do anything about anything. So this may be one of those times where Lauren Bobert gets off with either a slap on the wrist or gets off with no penalty at all. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.